After a couple of weeks of being sick and struggling with our plans for California travel,
I wasn't excited about much at that point.
we found a real gem.
It doesn't get better than this.
Even though Don has lost his sense of taste,
yeah, like a vinegar and a like rotten.
Got some important bus maintenance to attend to.
If something could go wrong, there's a good chance it might.
Nevertheless, it's reigniting our passion of life on the open road.
Man, am I surprised by this pace. Last week, you saw us in San Diego and was not well for most of the time we were there. So when Don said, "Where do you want to go next?" I kind of said, "I just don't care." I wasn't excited about much at that point. Don said, "Let's go to Temecula Wine Country. Doesn't that sound fun?" And I went, "Sure." And man, am I surprised by this pace. We have lots of places that we want to travel and we have on our list. And then I absolutely love getting surprised by places just like this. Now, as we travel, we're also kind of looking for a place that maybe one day we'll buy land and settle down, whatever that means. And I thought Southern California was just pretty much off my list. We lived in Los Angeles for 20 years. We have been to quite a few places in Southern California. I had never been here before. And there's a lot of things about it that I really love. But its location is also really interesting. You're not far from both San Diego and Los Angeles. A little over an hour to get to San Diego, about 2 hours, maybe a little more depending where you are in Los Angeles. You can just drive straight west, takes about an hour to get to the beach. But you can get to snowy mountains in like an hour from here too if you just want to see the snow in winter. It's kind of just a good placement.
This week we're staying at the Jojoba Hills SKP RV Resort. It's a really beautiful park.
we'll show you around in a little bit, but before we do, we had some bus issues we needed to address.
You might remember we got stuck in a sandstorm a few weeks ago. And a good friend Joe, you might remember him, mechanics, helped us out a lot. Joe kindly commented on that video in the sandstorm that it might be a good time to check your air filter for the engine on the bus and on the car. And I did, and boy, was there a lot of sand in it. Not only there was sand, there was twigs and stuff, like a bird had made a nest in there maybe. So I made a few calls, found out that we could get that air filter at the O'Reilly's in Temecula, so we're not sucking a bunch of sand into the engine. I've heard people have actually blown up their engines from their air filters going bad, so another thing to learn about the bus.
It is a beautiful sunny day, and one of the things I love about this park is we're just 20 minutes from Temecula Wine Country. So let's go have some fun.
The temperate climate and long sunny days make this area ideal for growing grapes.
And the green rolling hills make the dramatic snow-covered mountains in the distance a majestic sight to see.
There are so many wineries to choose from in this area. We're starting at Akash Winery and Vineyard. We're here for the wine, but we are also here for the food. I think that's what Don's most excited about. I'm so short at this. I have to like stand and wait to be done. Oh, it smells good.
Yeah, like a vinegar and a like rotten. Yeah, like that smell that happens right when a fruit starts to rot.
Don's poor taste buds are really messed up from being sick. It was a whole sinus issue, so his taste buds are just messed. It's very sad when you're wine tasting.
Because my taste buds are so messed up, everything feels like a little bit of a plasticky taste. It's awful.
So sad. I really like the Pinot Noir.
One of the reasons we picked this place is because they have some gluten-free, dairy-free options. Oh, I got this mushroom artichoke pizza. Looks pretty tasty. And I got a pesto ricotta.
Time for tasting number 2. Feeling a little buzzed. So this is probably going to be the last tasting as well.
This one has a nice port texture.
Don has been to Porto. He's a bit of a port snob. So when he says that he likes the port that he's having in America, it means it's good.
Besides the winery, the Europa village also has a hotel and areas for hosting weddings and events.
Well, I very much enjoyed the wine at this winery, but as I was saying to Don inside, I can't tell if it's just because I've just had so much wine at this point that it just tastes so yummy, or if it really was that good. Do you guys have that problem?
It's hard to tell if this area is always so lush and green, as California just had record rain this winter and everything seems to be blooming. But one thing's for sure, it's a welcome contrast to us, having spent the last few months in the sandy deserts of Arizona.
Now last week we were telling you we were worried about trying to find places that were both affordable and that we could fit our big rig in. And so I have to show you where we're staying this week because it's a real gem. It's hard to walk downstairs and talk to you guys at the same time. We're staying at the Jojoba Hills SKP Co-op and RV Resort in, let me see if I can get this name right, Awanga. Now this might sound familiar to you because last year we were staying in an SKP co-op in Benson, Arizona. We were blown away at the cost of how affordable it was and how beautiful it was. It's a 55 and over co-op where all the leaseholders participate in keeping the park as beautiful as it is. We are not over 55, but we are SKP's members, which means we can come and camp here temporarily, whereas the leaseholders have their own spot, which we'll show you very soon. If you missed that video about the Saguaro SKP Co-op in Benson, we'll link that video up here for you to watch. Now we are not over 55 and we are not leaseholders, but we are SKP's members. The membership is only $40 a year and then you get to come and camp at the co-ops. We're staying in the boondocks area. Boondocking means it's dry camping. There's no hookups, there's no electric, there's no sewer, which we don't need. And the best part, it's only $15 a night, which in California standards is like an absolute steal. Now, we don't have any hookups, but right over here, there is a dump. Not only is this boondocking spot beautiful with all the weeping willow trees and all the spring flowers blooming between the boulders, but we've actually had this boondocking area pretty much all to ourselves. And another super bonus for a boondocking area, just a few steps from our bus, we have restrooms and a laundry. But that's not all this park has to offer. So we're gonna go take a tour with one of the leaseholders and show you the rest of the park.
Hi, I'm Paul Goldberg, and I'm a volunteer tour guide in the park. My other role here is I have the good fortune of being the president of the board. The founders put up their own money to buy what amounted to eventually 140 acres of land.
The founders had a vision. They saw the potential for a beautiful park which could provide a home base and community for nomads and snowbirds. They camped down in the boondocks while they were landscaping what is now the members' sites up on the top of the hill. They made water retention ponds throughout the park for water management.
After 6 years of landscaping work, this photo shows where they started to this magical oasis it is now.
Oh, turtles!
There's 283 sites in the park, and they are large. Each site is 70 by 50 feet and comes with a shed.
We learned that each Escapees co-op operates by their own terms.
We don't use the term leaseholder around here. As a member of the co-op, we're entitled to have a site.
The fee for a site is currently $39,250, and then that site is yours for life. But as a member,
If tomorrow I decided I didn't want to be on my site,
you can give up your site and get refunded for that fee.
One of the things that we loved about the park is that it's surrounded by vacant land.
Some of it is owned by the co-op and other parts are public land. But there are trails you can walk on either end of the park.
What do you think? Could you meditate here?
Oh, absolutely. With the running water, the mountains. I'd be here for sure.
this is mine. This is where I live.
Whose artwork is this?
It's my wife.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Gator pond.
We saw the gator there.
But while the members all volunteer to keep the park looking beautiful, it's much more than a beautiful location to them.
We care about each other.
Hi.
First pick.
Happy tour time.
Thank you.
It is clear from taking this tour today with Paul and meeting so many of the members of the park that this park also has a really tight-knit community and that they really care for each other and look after each other.
This is a volunteer community, with volunteers taking the initiative to keep site holders with propane, manage the mail, and sort the recycling.
And the central gathering place of the park is the clubhouse,
Welcome to Friendship Hall.
where they hold meetups, concerts, and they're getting ready to put on a dance this weekend. They got a card room, a gym, complete with sauna,
A library, and a billiards room.
sewing room,
So, do you sew?
Tiny bit.
Okay.
and a crafts room, and beautiful covered outdoor patio.
We find people just sitting here.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the $1 million view right here. Yeah. These are the Palomar Mountains you're staring at?
That's the Palomar Mountain Range, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get better than this. This is my favorite part of the park right here with this massive swimming pool. They have 2 hot tubs. One is uncovered, the other is covered. So even if it's raining, you could go in the hot tub and the view.
With an Olympic-sized pool, garden and greenhouse, wood and metal shop, dog washing station,
You won't find that in every campground.
and a community ranch house.
So you want to come down and watch a football game with a gang?
There's no shortage of places to gather or activities to enjoy your time here.
But that's not all. There's also a driving and putting range, dog park, an air rifle range, RV storage for the residents,
An art studio, and a pottery studio.
It's a full-on studio.
It's one of the best places to hang out in the entire park.
Everybody thinks that what they're doing
I
is the
know.
best.
But it's the group of people, it's the camaraderie, it's the family, this is the place where everybody sits around and laughs and just has a ball. You walk away happy.
Yes.
So
We met one of the founders of the park, Shirley, and she was chatting and telling us a little bit about her story, and she described the park as the Cadillac of the Escapees parks, and I would have to agree, it's quite a spectacular park. We're picking up the air filters for the bus and the Jeep.
We got a new air filter.
Big shout out to Joe, our mechanic in Ohio. He's always looking out for us.
This has been a really beautiful place. But before we pack up and get going today, I've got to do some bus maintenance. We grabbed a new air filter for the bus, So we're gonna go ahead and swap that thing out. It's a pretty massive filter. These things usually cost like 170 bucks. We changed this one October 21st, 2021. I don't know how often you're supposed to change them, but have to consult the manual or one of my mechanic friends. I figure I might as well put a permanent marker on there to let myself know when that was replaced, and hopefully it'll last us for a couple of years. I also went ahead and picked up a new air filter for the Jeep because sand. You can tell the Jeep needs a serious cleaning. Look at all the sand just from the last 3 months we've been in the desert. New air filter. I also picked up this magnetic wand. I'm sure most mechanics have one of these, but I didn't. And watching the YouTube video on how to swap out the air filter, the guy used one, and I was like, I should grab one of those. Luckily, they had them right there at the auto parts store for like $6. Well, my drill bit fell into the compartment. I'm not sure where it's at here. That's not a good sign. Old one, new one. Oh, I lost a screw, I lost a bit, all inside the engine compartment. Probably as soon as I turn the engine on and move it to hook it up to tow, they'll fall out. Not going as planned. Living on the road and in a bus has taught me anything. It's that be ready to roll with it. If something could go wrong, there's a good chance it might. And you gotta be okay with that. So if you're looking to learn to be a more patient person, to go with the flow, maybe bus life is for you.
So, if you're looking to learn to be a more patient person, to go with the flow, maybe bus life is for you.
Just check the Jeep oil. It's good. Our coolant level is a little bit low, however. It takes a special coolant. Luckily, we've got some. I'm gonna go ahead and top it up real quick. And then I can finally get ready for the actual bus preparation for the move for the day.
That's it for our time here. It's time to move on. We're heading towards Joshua Tree, and I'm not too sure how I feel about it, to be honest.